don't know if the links.
It's done it again where it's just set up a new link.
The first link was dodgy. This link seems to be okay now, I think.
Is it working now?
I think so. It's round 3, yeah. There's one that comes. It's like a duff link. It says round 1, and this one seems to be working round 3. There's 7 people watching, so I'm taking it. So I'm going to comment. See if anybody says anything.
Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to think, hope, pray, and all that the link is live and everyone can hear us. Mr. Megan Hart saying he shall move. I don't know why that is. You're for the unround one. Mr. Dimple, there was another stream again. That's annoying. Evening, Duggan. I set up a link and it should automatically go live with the link, but for whatever reason, it's not doing that at the moment. But nevertheless, we are live and we shall chat shit for a few minutes until other people can find the correct link. I am delighted. I'm amazed. It's first time in quite a while, actually, that I managed to get our good friend from north of the border in. Good evening, Mr. Ian Campbell. How you doing, mate?
Hello! Oh, that's what they did in Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm good, Ray. How are you, mate? How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. All right. Any news? How did your date go yesterday?
It was. Well, I wasn't a date. I've had some issues with the fucking kid and that, and just my ex, just all like shite basically. But apart from that, it's been okay, mate. Aye, just doing away. Just aye. I'm just staying away, mate. Just fucking praying that I get fucking some points on the board here, which isn't looking very likely, mate. But just enjoying the Super League, the format, the way you and Fife have just seamlessly taken over it. It's brilliant, mate. Honestly, kudos to you, mate. Definitely, it's fantastic.
Good. Right. Let's start off like our in-depth interview where I trying to get under the skin and under the face mask of Mr. Ian Campbell. First off, I'd like to ask you about the glorious Haggis Hunters. Great team on paper. I mean, season 1, we spoke previously, and you felt like you were a striker short, you weren't getting the goals. Season 2, you brought Shevchenko in. You added 4 more goals and conceded 1 less, but you managed to get 2 less points on the board. What went wrong last season, and what have you done to put it right this season?
Well, I think, right, I fell into the trap that quite a lot of managers have fell into, is buying players that, like, in real life were fucking mega stars and fucking you think they're going to do it, and as we all know, on paper it does not fucking win matches, and I think I've been guilty of that quite a fair fucking bit now. The team that comes to mind first would be Maka at Fulchester. I mean, you look at his team on paper and it is fucking dung. Like, in real life terms, it's shit, but he's consistently a top 6 side, and fucking obviously he's a good manager as well. But there's teams there that on paper should be making the top 6, and you look at mine and you would say arguably they should be top 6, but it's whether that's fucking managerial fucking inadequacies, I don't know. But on paper, my team should be making top 6. I feel we should. We've got plenty firepower now. I know I've been a wee bit guilty fucking about with formations, maybe a bit too much, but you look at that team, right? That's top six material, in my opinion.
On that, mate. I mean, you could potentially. I'm going to kind of do an analogy of Arsenal in the Premier League, where basically they've got Aubameyang, Lacazette, they've got Hector Bellerin, decent keeper, you could say. Couple of youngsters in Smith Rowe, Saka. On paper, you'd say that's a top 6 team. Yeah, all the Arsenal fans are going mad. They got beat by Brentford. They got beat by Chelsea. They've got City up next. You've got Bostock up next.
I mean,
what are the odds of the Haggis Hunters going into the 4th game without a point on the board?
it's very likely. I mean, the other thing you could maybe point at is my big players maybe not given quite enough. I mean, Shevchenko is probably top 5 arguably in the game. Maybe that's maybe arguable. Vieira is I would say the best midfielder in the game. You've got Mike Duff, who folks say, is he good enough, is he not good enough? He definitely is good enough for the Super League. There's no question in my mind of that. Casillas, keeper's always a dodgy position, but he's still a good keeper. And then you've got
Yaps. Not had a good start this season, has he?
He hasn't, mate. But as I say, keepers are always going to fucking throw in a 5. But I mean, Mendieta's good, but I've really been expecting more from Vieira. I know his average rating's fucking decent in that, but I want goals and assists. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm just not getting that. That's so I brought in Nikiforenko. I know it's probably one of the shittest Nikiforenkos you've ever seen in your puff, but when he gets going, I mean, you know what he's capable of. But I'm expecting more from Vieira, and as you'll see tonight, I'm kind of rolling the dice a wee bit, moving him a bit further forward. But I'm just expecting a bit more from my big players. I mean, there's a lot of luck involved, and obviously managerial fucking noose. Maybe I'm not one of the better managers in the league, but I think I've assembled quite a strong side, and I'm not doing it in drastically different to any other managers. So there is a fair bit of luck involved, but it's certainly Lady Luck isn't on our side at the moment, and there's a distinct possibility that it's going to be 4-4, and that's going to be extremely depressing.
Well, I hope you manage to turn it around sooner rather than later. I apologise to everyone else that was in the other stream. I don't know why it's doing it. I need to chat with Doug, and I actually watched a couple of YouTube videos this lunch to try and make sure that didn't happen, and it's happened again, which is frustrating. So, evening to those who have been elsewhere and now joined us. Evening to Greavesy. Evening to Rob Sloth, Duggan's about. David Shiwaza. Definitely incorrect pronunciation there. Ian Edwards has joined us. So a quick look at what we've got tonight. Not to dwell on the past. Our fixtures this evening. We've got Aston looking for their first points against Northern. We've had a wonderful episode of Untitled Chapter. So basically, it's top v bottom, that one. Ian undefeated so far. Another team undefeated and won every game against another team with no points. Bostock, Haggis. Dragons indifferent start this season. Sloths could say the same after getting beat last time out. Both teams finished in the top 6 last year. Both will be looking to kind of get the ball rolling. Fulchester at home to Gazelles, who started well. New manager starting well, top of the highest place of the new managers. Hulls versus Locomotive, 4th v 5th. Got to say that Jens has rolled the dice with his transfers this season. He's got rid of some midfield stalwarts and gone for some real attacking prowess. Greaves, another one who's done some interesting transfers. We'll have a look at their team soon enough. New manager takes to the game in Chattanooga Horse. Was with the league before in season 1, I believe, of Stacking it but has rejoined after the shock departure of CMSL. He's at home to Dimble and Churchtown, who's again, I think, maybe a little bit unlucky in the first couple of games. And then we've got the Devils, who last year's winners have been beat both games so far this season, 12th in the table, against Dudley Hill, who beat the Gazelles, sorry, not the Gazelles, beat Lettucewood last time out. Any particular games you're looking forward to there, Ian?
Apart from our own, obviously, I'm interested to see the Devils because I think if Hodgie doesn't pick up anything for that game, I know it's only 3 games in, but the pressure is definitely going to mount. Just going with last season, what Fifey managed to do. Obviously, Leathersford Churchtown is going to be interesting with the new manager. Hulls Boston is looking like a barnstormer. who's are one that I've got on paper, one of your world class, like life, real life fucking players. You know what I mean? Boston, bit of a different start, but they're always there or thereabouts. Fulchester will be there or thereabouts. Sloths, I think, are needing a result there against Dragons. And I'll be interested. All of them basically. There's not really any game that's like doesn't really interest me. So I'm really looking forward to the night, mate.
Right. If you bear with me 2 seconds, Ian, mate. A couple of people in the chat are saying I've got a little bit of a sound issue, so I'm going to try and fix that.
With myself, like, or...
No, me. I've got the sound
Right,
issue,
right.
mate. You're all good. Don't you worry about it. Let's try and do this. Please bear with me, ladies and gentlemen.
No worries. Do you want me to sing a song while we're waiting?
Yeah, sing us a song, mate. Give us
I'll give you the heart song. Away up in Gorgie at Tynecastle Park, there's a wee football team that will make its mark. They've won all the honours for footballing arts, and there's nae other team to compare with the Hearts. H-E-A-R-T-S. Is that enough?
Well, here we go. We're going to see whether it's enough. Hopefully, the ladies and gentlemen in the chat can confirm to me. These are new headphones, so I can switch back to the old ones, but these should be way, way better. Couple of things I've just spotted in the chat there. Everyone's loving your singing, mate.
It's down to 3 views now, mate, so I think I've fucking scared everybody off with that fucking monstrosity, mate, to be honest.
No. Tato saying my sound's an issue. Scott's saying it's just that his sound's a bit laggy. Keep dipping in and out, intermittent. Ian clear as a bell, though. Oh my, what a sexy voice. Move that rotating pick, right? I've moved the rotating pick, I apologise. Yes, rerun of week 1, here we are. Right, the Scottish John Lennon. If someone can confirm that, yeah, I'm better. Tato says better, Ian says spot on. That's good, all good. Right, we've waffled on for 11 minutes. You give us a wonderful rendition of the Heart song. We're going to go to Dragons versus Spartak Sloths. What do you think about your good friend Rob Sloth and his decision this evening to, after he scored last time out, drop Patrick Vieira from the squad to bring Rui Costa back in and move away from his 3-striker formation?
That is a shock. I was just going to ask, is Vieira injured? And you've just informed me he isn't injured. He's went to Pizarro and Batistuta. That's a shock. And Vieira's not even on the bench. Is he fully fit? Is he just totally?
It's 100% fully fit. Patrick Vieira scored last time out, and I think I actually double checked this with Rob. I actually sent him a message saying, "Are you sure, mate?" And he said he prefers the other 2 strikers. That was his.
That's the one thing with Rob. He doesn't hold back from making extremely fucking controversial decisions. This one, I think, is, if it pays off, then kudos to him. But I think that could be a wee bit of an error. I would have on the bench all day long. He's got Matt Holland is questionable. He obviously likes him. I mean, home saves he's decent. You know what I mean? His stats are good, mate. His stats are good. Whether he's got the Super League pedigree remains to be seen. I'd question his defence, if I'm being honest, for a title challenge. Johnny Woodgate's decent. I like Johnny Woodgate. I'd probably go with him over Melito. Have a wee click on Melito, if you don't mind.
I think Melito's his strongest one, in my opinion. I think season 3, Melito gets
he's decent. I'm maybe thinking about it at the start, mate, so that's apologies on that. But I didn't mind Johnny Woodgate in the game. Stefan Honshaw.
2-time Super League winner, Stefan Honshaw.
Yeah, he started.
I think actually 3 times. Actually, I think he.
Yeah, this just shows my knowledge. This has shown my knowledge is utterly fucking gash. But
let's not dwell on it, mate. Let's not dwell on it.
He's got Rui Costa's a good player, mate. Again, I think he maybe slightly overperformed last season. Moving on to Dragons, well, I can say that Jamie has done some fantastic business. I mean, look at that front 3, mate, compared to last season.
Yeah, it's a different ball game, isn't it? And Kesman on the bench as well. You got to say that he's potentially 3 strikers better than Constantinu, who led the line last year.
Absolutely, mate. He's done some excellent business. I'm not sure about Joe Cole in the central midfield. I wouldn't play him there. Glad to see he's brought Brett Emerton in because I really, really like him in the game. Zowry's a good player who he got for me. Chiotis coming in.
What was the deal for Zeri? Sorry, if you can inform us.
Zowry, who was it again? I think it was something to do with Nedved. Maybe was it some sort of along the lines?
I can't
Uh,
remember. You would know better than me.
oh God, I can't remind me. I've had that many fucking sporting directors. I'm sure it was something to do with what did I just say?
Nedved, you said there. I don't know.
I'm sure it was something to do with that, mate. I genuinely can't mind, but it was something along the lines. But he's a good player, mate, and I think the Dragons are looking pretty good this season. And I'm going to predict a 2-1 Dragons win, mate, before you
Well,
know.
they've only got 2 draws so far this season. We got some predictions in the chat while we're waiting here. Tato Mourinho saying can have Hoffland and Hippier at this point, but not for Veron. Maka says he wants Hoffland. Fifey's in the chat. Duggan confirming it was Nedved. Jens going 2-2. There's a few. I mean, there's a few predictions coming in. They're going either way. A lot of draws as well.
I'd also just like to add, I've not been horrible to Wob in the chat. I could have been absolutely disgusting, but I've refrained from that. So I'm just the two there.
Pizarro has an early effort, which gets us going. Melito involved, a lot of black and red early doors. Clivert and coming forward for Dragons. Honcho. D'Alessandro, Zeriberto on the left-hand side, always dangerous, and has fed Pizarro. That little partnership again of Zeriberto and Pizarro going well. Jamie won't be liking the look of this. Half an hour gone. There's potential. Imagine we saw Batistuta score against his old club after he was cast out into the cold. 38 minutes gone. Pizarro being a menace as he has been pretty much for the last couple of seasons for Sloths, and we get to half time and it's been all Sloths, hasn't it? Wow.
Jesus.
Jesus.
I didn't think it was as one-sided as that.
Yeah, you've just been praising that Dragons team, and it's been gashed tonight. And as I suspected, the goal was Zeriberto on the left-hand side, feeding Pizarro. Let's have a look at. I'm not seeing Jesus. I'm not seeing a team this bad since last time Dudley Hill played. But
Wow. There's me praising Emerton. Fucking hell. Sorry, Jamie. Jesus Christ, that's not great, is it?
it's not great at all. I've not seen Jamie in the chat. Neil Yellen's joined us, even in Rocks. I always forget. I always forget who Neil Yellen is, and then I think actually it's Rocks. Evening Alf as well. Mega Horse asking for Christian Vieri. Hopkins, evening Jamie. Nice to hear from you, mate. Hargreaves for Emerson and Kesman for Tomad is the substitution. So he's heard you praise Brett Emerton, then decided immediately to take him off.
Listen to nothing I say, mate.
A quick slick on Sloths, who've been fantastic this first half. Yeah, Pizarro and D'Alessandro kind of pulling the strings. It looks like Matty Holland's not had a bad game either. He's already confirmed that he's going to stick with.
He's going to roll with it. Definitely he's going to roll with that, isn't he? I'll try and get a chat here. I've seen it.
No worries, I'm going to kick the second half off and see how we get on. Started red again. Rui Costa with an effort. Looks like that.
Yes, it is Archie.
Archie back, formerly of Haggis in the old game. The half an hour to go. Still looks more red and black. Rob will be just frustrated if he doesn't get the points here, especially after dominating that first half. But Dragons back in the game now. And Clivert, and a goal from Clivert. Wow, this looks like a bit of a champion in my opinion. But Dragons are creating chances now. And we've had a red card for Andres D'Alessandro.
I'd move Simeone central and leave it as is. Personally, that's what I would do.
I would do this.
Would you? See, I wouldn't. I'm
going to wait for Rob to kind of give us a kind of.
I would have just moved Simeone central and just fucking went for it because he's basically he needs an equaliser, doesn't he?
While we're waiting for Rob to give us his kind of instructions, last time we played, we won, Rye. Your hatred to us. As expected, Rob's taking my advice. What a turnaround from the Dragons, echoing that there. Sloth's throwing it away. Let's continue this.
Dragons win here. Dragons win now. Mistake for Robert, I'm afraid.
He didn't take his chances in this first half. Maybe a lacking Christian Vieri as well. Oh my God.
Aye. One at the back has to be.
I'm just going to do that now. A couple of minutes left. I'm conscious of time.
I think.
And
Oh,
there's
there
a
it
third
is.
for Joe
Oh,
Cole. Sorry, Rob. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get the game over with. It's kind of 3-1 to Dragons. Absolute massive turnaround. I thought that was
Jesus Christ.
yeah. I mean, you can see that. I think that was 10. Maybe is it 10 and 7 from Sloths at half time? Dragons had like 2 shots, 1 on target, and the complete turnaround there is incredible. Yeah, it's a bit of a. Would you class that as a champion, mate?
Maybe not so much a champion, but I think the difference being just the firepower, which I kind of alluded to before the game. When you've got Paddy Clivert up front, I did call our Dragons win. Sloths can consider themselves a bit unlucky. Maybe their what's the word? Their red card. What's the fucking word? Their you know what?
Well,
You know what?
while you're
The,
thinking about it, Archie back got past Gabriel Milito, who you suspected might be a weak link, and then back fed Clivert. So Archie back had absolutely huge impact on this. D'Alessandro penalised for a trip on back. Maybe that's a little bit harsh for Brad McKay to play out the red card there. Is Brad McKay any friend of yours, mate?
well, I've been for a pint with him a couple of times, a couple of occasions. That word, Ryan, you need to help me with his word. What's the word when it's when you keep getting red cards? A disciplinary. Fucking hell. Disciplinary issue from that club. Fucking hell. I think Rob can feel a wee bit unlucky there, but as I say, fucking personally, I would have moved Thingway up into AMC, but I don't know whether it would have made a difference. Probably no, but I'm going to claim it will. I did call our Dragons win. I think there's too much to be concerned about. Good fucking ratings overall, but again, the difference is Paddy Clivert back, as Duggan alluded to last season, probably was one of the signings of the season. He's fucking outstanding. But as I say, Patrick Clivert is going to be up there this season. What a signing that's for Jamie. Very, very shrewd signing. And
Yep.
pretty much deserved victory.
An 8 and an assist with Matthias Kesman off the bench. Archie back picking up man of the match with a goal and an assist. Great performance from him. Kiotis there getting a low key 9. Dragons obviously massively the better team in the second half. Just it took 45 minutes to turn up again. Maybe against a different team, they might not get back into that game. But yeah, well done to Jamie, unlucky to Rob, and we move on. And we've got Devils versus Dudley Hill. Hodgie looking to get some his first points on the board. He just said there a second ago that what did he say? I definitely threatened to quit after that game. I can and imagine that would be a kind of a remote thrower. Rock's saying that Nick Matulin is a bus conductor. I thought he was a DJ. Anyway, the legend that is Martin Peterson saying that Slough and problems continue to haunt them. Last season was their least violent ever, but it looks like they're back to their old tricks. The manager's got no disciplinary and it feeds through into the players. Huge game this, says Duggan. So interesting ones. Obviously, Mpenda's still out. So he's basically deputised by Defoe, who basically just kept his place after a 7 last time out. We did miss a couple of chances. The other change, maybe a more surprising one, we're going to see the introduction to this version of the Super League of Tobias Gran, who's obviously former Super League winner with Haller, a really good player in home saves, never really transferred it into the Super League, whilst I think myself or Martin have been at the helm. But he comes into for Harry Kuehl, who's not injured, he's fully fit. Yes, just got the 6 rating off the with 1 start and 1 off the bench. So yeah, Hodgie obviously holding his grudge against Harry Kuehl. Interesting to see that that you stuck with that. It'd be interesting to see if Pavlo Aimar can get his Devils kind of ball rolling. As we move on to last week's winners, I'm reliably informed they won on Sunday against Lettucewood. Congratulations, definitely deserved that one, didn't they? What do you make of this Dudley Hill outfit with Rusev and Mendonca?
I love Rusev as Stinos is one of my favourites in the game. He's brought in Van Bommel centre mid. Definitely fucking strengthened. He's improved for last season, no doubt. Maybe up front would maybe be the only question for me. Just a quick point on Devils, if you didn't mind, right? If the best he's got is Jermaine Defoe, I mean, he let Montella go again. I mean, and Penza is a bit injury prone. That I find that pretty baffling. That Hodges, he's basically not got anybody real pedigree back. I know he's got Roy Mackay there, but that'd be my only concern. If Penza's going to start getting injured, it's a bit of concern for him. Anyway, back to Dudley. It's a solid team. Mendonca isn't the one I've got a great deal of experience with, but I know he's liked and known about the community. He let Roberto Carlos go for Serginho, which was maybe a bit of a shock. I mean, we know Viduka can bang. It's just a solid team. I mean, again, I can't really, on full respect to Steve, I can't see them troubling top four, but they may well sneak in top six. I mean, they certainly got a mere chance in Wav with the way things are going. I mean, it's a good team, Tudor and Rustico are good, so it's a good one. If we can get a result here, it fucking cranks up the pressure on Hodgie.
Just looking at Tudor, positioning 15, marking 16, 16. Would you suggest that that's his best position there, defender, or would you more likely playing midfield, passing 18, off the ball 18, dribbling? Seems like more of a midfielder to me.
He'd be DMC all day long for me, but he can do a job there. As I say, I don't know what his other options are. I probably Ayala. I'd probably go for Ayala. I don't know if he's kicking on a bit of age, but no, definitely DM for me. But
what are you going with this one?
This one, Devils need a win here, but I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say a Desmond.
Desmond is coming in the chat for me and Edwards as well. Goalfest incoming, says Martin. A couple of 1-1s in there from Chapman Swan. Evening, mate. Evening to anyone else who's joined us. Tato Mourinho as well. Sort of Tobias Gran have an effort there. 26 minutes gone. We've not got any goals though. There's Noni coming in the right hand side. Rusev involved. Van Bronckhorst got the most assists in the league last season. Giovanni Bronckhorst. He gets that, and we've had Sebastian Frey pick up an injured. That means we're going to see Richard Wright come on. I think, yes, he didn't get an appearance last season, but played a few games in season 1. Let's get to half time. Dyer comes in the right hand side. Jermaine Defoe hammered one, but it didn't hit the back of the net. Devils stronger, but still not scoring goals. Have you got what you going to do here if you're Hadji?
The phone a 6 again. Just a quick word on Hodgie. Hodgie taking that job was on a lose-lose because, I mean, I think Hodgie was thinking, well, it was the best fucking team in the league, but if he's not going to win the league, he's going to be fucking classed as a fucking failure. So it's a tough job to take on. If I was Hodgie, I'd be fucking removing Jermaine Defoe. Probably chucking Eto or somebody on up there. He's also got Gran. I would get Gran to fuck as well. Is that the good Emerson he's got there?
Yeah, that's the good Emerson.
I would even get good Emerson on there, mate. Honestly, I would just get Gran away. Gran's not good enough in my opinion.
Well, what he is doing, mate, let's give you so you can kind of report on it. He's putting Tonton, Zola, Mukoko on for his Super League debut up top in front of Aimar and Gran.
I probably would put Eto up there, and I would get Emerson on for Gran, mate, all day long. Just he's not good enough. Anyway.
Well, I think that would take him to 3 substitutions, wouldn't it? Which would kind of.
I would have went Eto for Defoe and Emerson for Gran. That's what I would have done personally.
Dudley Hill, quiet first halves. Stats not outstanding. Mazzantini and Zenoni, the pick of the bunch, really. I'm just trying to think. Steve's not really creating enough, is he? Let's see what he'd. I mean, one shot on target. Let's check. What would you do? Would you bring Luca Toni on? Would you bring Alex on? Alex is quite a creative player. Tomasi, one of his key men, not involved at all.
Alex has just never really done it. I've had him in a couple of incarnations. He's just never really done it for me. Luca Toni's always good for a goal. I'd probably be inclined to chuck Luca Toni on. I know Viduka's doing okay, but I'd even chuck Luca Toni on AMC for Mendonca personally. I'd probably roll the dice or something like that.
Well, he's actually bringing Alex on for Mendonca.
Right.
It's amazing. It's amazing, mate, how often I kind of suggest a player, and then 2 seconds later, 2 seconds later, the manager just does exactly what I was going to do. So that's exactly what I mean. That both of those substitutions, I think, what I would have done. I really like the idea of bringing Mukoko on. I think Alex is better than Mendonca, but I think most other players in the league are better than Mendonca. Let's see what else is going on. Van Dommel, Seedorf involved. Dudley Hill coming into this game a little bit. Viduka has the effort there. And there's Zanoni going off injured. That is a bit of a sickener.
Ayala and Tudor for me.
Yeah, I'm going to do this and then Steve's going to confirm. I'll be very surprised if it's not that. Would be leaving it and hoping for a goalkeeper sub Mare.
Listen, a draw here for Dudley is a good result if they can hang on. That is a good result away to Devils. Make no mistake, it's a good result.
Rox is saying, is Javan in this database? The answer is no. Ayala swap Tudor, yeah. Rustico, blah blah blah. Right, that's what we thought. I mean, Fifey's saying get Tony on and move Seedorf wide. I don't think I would have gone with that one really, but yeah, it's still 0-0. Half an hour of normal time remaining.
The Devils have been poor, haven't they? They've been poor.
Rusev, what do you call it? Took a dive there, I believe. And we've got 20 minutes to go. Looks like Dudley Hill are the more likely. Shocks all around here, and as soon as I say it, Tobias Gran on his debut. Oh my God, that's a sickener at first, Steve. Right? Because I think first half you'd be remiss to saying that Devils weren't the better team, but you think the longer the game went on, Dudley were the better team, and then right at the end, yeah, with the sucker punch for them, we've had Tobias Gran.
Every player I've fucking slated has done well.
Assist from Pablo Aimar, I assume, and it's a solid all-round performance. Obviously, you're looking at the ratings, and it's that first win on the board for the Devils and for Hodges Devils. You wouldn't be going on singing from the rafters, though, would you?
No, but Hodgie will be delighted to get the first 3 points on the board. Believe me, because it really will. I mean, that's I would take 1-0 every week. Richard Wright, man of the match, maybe indicates that he was maybe a bit fortunate. I think Dudley can hold their heads high because I think they've done well. I mean, looking at the ratings, that's very decent, mate. Apart from fucking the 2 subs, which Alex, again, I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't think there's too much to look at. That 24 tackles for Tomasi, who I'm not a huge fan of, 18 for Van Bommel, 12 for Rustico. So that's a good performance for Dudley. No disgrace. Know what I mean?
I think Tomasi was on a 6 and barely touched the ball at half-time to come away with a 9. Richard Wright off the bench says a lot that how much Dudley came into the game, that he got man of the match. I got to say, yeah, unlucky to stay, and congratulations to Hodgie. But yeah, I must admit, Dudley Hill surprised me with that performance there. They were unlucky not to come away with anything.
Defo, mate, defo.
Right, Jens has asked me to push it back a little bit, the Hulls game, so I'm going to go somewhere else first. I'm going to go to... Can I go to Asta? Asta v Northern Burn. So we've got Mr. Tato Mourinho. If anyone's not caught up on Tato Talks, please do. Absolutely riveting talk show. Hopefully it's going to become a regular feature. However, what Tato needs is his goal scorers to become a regular feature, because he's just got 1 in the first couple of games and he's conceded 7. A couple of interesting transfers. He's brought Saviola in, Salahamovic, but he's also let players like with the quality of Rui Costa and Nedved go. Even Kaluzhny, absolutely solid last season. I mean, what is going wrong for Astor, and does Tato have the minerals to turn it around?
What Tato's done is went for players that in home saves that he likes and knows can do a job in home saves. Whether that can transfer to the Super League remains to be seen. I mean, Foy and Scalia, he's got they're good players, but ZZ Roberts is one that I don't know if he's got the pedigree to be getting you like 10, 15 goals. I mean, he's good, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but is he at the level of Mpenza and Shigalko? I don't know. Riyadh, obviously a home save legend. Landon Donovan was one I heard. Shea Given, who you're highlighting, is always going to throw in a 5. I mean, he done well for me if you remember Ryan at Haggis. Remember, he was one of my most consistent players, but keeper is one of the funny positions. But I think Tato, I don't know if Saviola's best position is right on the front of an AMC, but as you know, that's a formation that Tato did bring in Haggis, and it had relative success. But you have either have like fucking 20 odd shots from goal or get beat 5-0, and who he's up against, I can see it being a bit of the latter. If I'm being honest, that looks quite a formidable side.
Yeah, Jens saying that's the best 11 Astor can put out. I would tend to disagree with that, if I'm being honest, Jens. I think he's got some good players, not necessarily in his first team squad. I think he's definitely got some good players in his reserves. I think there's a couple of players which have definitely been overlooked at Astor, which I think could really have a positive effect. Anyway, I would completely agree with Mr. Tato that Northern Burn are scary. They won the first 2 games, which is their best start to a Super League. They're formidable from 1 to 11. Roy Keane's come back in from Freddie Youngberg.
I didn't like Keane centre mid. I have to say, sorry, Ryan. I don't like him at centre mid.
Roy Keane.
No, not centre mid for me. As I say that, I've just done similar in my game, but he's not centre mid for me personally. I know he can play there, but not for me.
9 bans in basically this is what you call it. What is it? Game 3 of the season 3. He's had 9 suspensions in that time. Let's have a look. All right, Hodgie. I misspoke. I do apologise. We're gonna basically maybe not in starting, but may see the introduction to the Super League of Marcin Baskinski.
Is this an outside the league signing, is it?
Yeah, 900k from Whistler Krakow. Looks like a solid fullback.
It does. I like him. Either side as well. Handy signing. I've never. I think I've seen him before. To be honest with you, looks very, very good. Very good. I like that.
No
I like those.
worries. Yeah, quality. So only instruction is not 13, so I'm going to give him 19.
Sorry, right? Is Morgan the Paul Gascoigne regen? That's the next question. Is that who that is? Morgan.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's not had a look in yet. And I think he looks pretty solid though. If I just click on him again.
Is that who it is?
That was the assumption. Yeah, that's the
He's
Paul
decent.
Gascoigne.
He's decent, Mike. He is very decent. Find it hard to get in ahead of who's already in his squad though. Anyway.
Tato Mourinho going 4-0 Burn, Fifey going 4-0 Burn, most people going for an away win. Hodgie unsure about the legitimacy and should we have regens in the league, I assume. What are your thoughts on it, Ian, and what are your thoughts on this game?
It's my heart says an Astor 2-1 win. My head is going to say a Burn win. I'd love to see Tato get a result here. As you know, my affinity towards him, but I can't really see past the Northern Burn win because they've been pretty impressive. They done us 3-0 last game, but I'd love to see Tato get a result. But I'm going to say a Northern Burn 2-1 win.
Apart from Alpha, who's gone for Astor 1-0, everyone else has gone for an away victory. Let's see how they get on. Rayo Rayard and ZZ Roberts with an early goal.
What do I know?
And that will got Ian shaking a little bit. 17 minutes gone. It's still 1-0 to Astor Athletic. Tato will be hoping that his defence can hold out. Saviola and ZZ Roberts had both had efforts there. definitely in this game quite a lot. Asta, Saviola, Foe, Robin. We've got to half time and only one team in it, you could say. 3 shots, 3 on target for Asta, 2 shots off target for Northern Burn. The goal was Donovan inspired and tried his luck, Easy Roberts. Yeah.
If anybody else wants me to slag off their players before the game, I will do. I guarantee they're going to fucking score or do well. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Would you change anything here if you Tato all 7s and 8s?
Absolutely no. That is a fantastic performance against one of the strongest teams in the league. Tato is going to be absolutely delighted. I'd be surprised if he makes any changes.
I tend to agree with you. I'm just waiting. As is obviously.
Yeah.
We roll the dice.
So
Ian and Northern Burn, not one to make too many changes at half time. Likes to stick with it. Likes to be, has basically found consistency is the key to the Super League. Zizi, a giant among men, guaranteed 10 headed goals a season, says Martin. Wish you to give Rusev some stick, Ian, says Steve Wright. Just waiting for Ian to confirm that he's.
Sorry, Ryan. What I would say about the Burnside, he's not got too many attacking options on the bench. Robbie Keane being the only one. That's a wee bit of a surprise there. I mean, he's got Botany, obviously centre half, covers right and left back with Bazinczynski, whatever his name is. But Robbie Keane isn't one I would normally. I don't rate, so that he's not really got too many attacking options. I know he can move players about, but that would be my only critique of Burn there.
Yeah, I think Ian would freely admit he's gone all in for the first 11. It's not the strongest squad outside of that, but if he can keep everyone fit, then he's definitely in for one. Similar to, I think, to Rob Slough in a way that, last season we've said that, last couple of seasons we've said that as soon as Roberto gets injured, he's a different team. So, yeah, let's kick off the second half and see how Asta can get on. Looks like
I would not write them off, put it that way.
How about now? Because Javier Saviola has got his first goal, but Thierry Henry bites back on 60 minutes. Looks like this is going very, very quickly. 20 minutes to go. Robin misses the target. Last 5 minutes. Robin, Guillermo's off contra. It flew then, the last 15 minutes. Asta holding on for that first victory. Landon Donovan going off injured. We've got Franca and Romagnoli could potentially come on. I'm just going to wait for some instruction from Tato.
If Astor can hold on to this will be the result of the season for me. I know it's early days, but it's the result of the season for me. Aye, Franca, Dale says.
Does he?
Yeah, Franca.
Right, Franca is coming on for Landon Donovan. Hodgie's picking up on my little things that I do, like constantly click on different things across just to annoy people, check the commentary speed and all that.
Doesn't bother me in the slightest.
And the final whistle has blown. I'll let you do a little bit of a monologue on you want. I mean, that's a huge result, isn't it?
What a result, Tito. I mean, Burn had their chances. I just think that the Astor were more clinical, surprisingly. ZZ fucking Roberts. Saviola finally turning up. I really can't get across how much a big result that is. Because Burn have been pretty impervious. Look at the ratings. Shea Given getting a 7. Everybody turning up basically, apart from Neil Scally. Martin will be fucking delighted with that. But aye, just a fantastic result. Saviola and Roberts doing the business. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. I'll go wait and have a look at the Burn ratings. I think it's maybe just been a bad day at the office for them, but I'm absolutely delighted for Tato. Well done, mate. I am fucking delighted for you, mate. Really am. Brilliant, mate.
Yeah, I don't say too bad of a day at the office when you look at the ratings. Francesco Totti not turning up, getting a 5. George Atos is down to 69 fitness, but Henri picking up man of the match and getting his goal. Ian obviously always gracious in defeat, saying congratulations to Tato. Steve Wright quoting you saying, Ian, my heart says 2-1. Yeah, superb win. And Mr. Mega Horse noting that as soon as the assistant left. Yeah, big up Tato. Congratulations on.
Can I ask you a quick question, Ryan? Where do you play Totti?
it depends on what I'll play him centre midfield, second midfield, or striker. I think my favourite position for him is striker.
Right.
But
Interesting.
yeah, but I mean that it's generally because I think he's a striker who can consistently score goals. Yeah. Where we at? We're not at Bostock v Haggis. We're going to go to Norway. Or yes, we are. Excuse me. I apologise to everyone for sneezing down the microphone. I tried to turn it off, but I wasn't quick enough. Hull's Vikings have had an okay start, a win and a draw. Jens will be happy with that in the top 6 to get us off, sticking with relatively the same team. What do you make of it?
I mean, on paper, it's in my opinion, it's up there with Northern Burn. I mean, he's strengthened. I gave him Candela. I think I was in a moment of fucking. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking there, but I gave him Candela. He's been the most consistent player. Played every single game, I believe. He probably is the best left back in the league. Him or Lizard Azru, but I just fancied a wee change. Look how he started. He's fucking immense. Rivaldo is probably one I'm not too keen on. Xavi looks good start wise, I believe. He looks pretty good for
He's not had a good start ratings wise, but I really like his right hand column there. I think he's solid. Passing 20, decisions 18, which are 2 that I really look for in a midfielder. I think he's going to come good in my honest opinion, but I mean, it remains to be seen. I've been wrong in the past.
Turam, who was playing on the right, he's brought in Volodenkov, who's class player. Turam, brilliant.
Thuram, interesting fact, one of the few ever presents in the Super League, played every game of both seasons.
He's good. Brozek is now. I had him first season. He was a bit young, and then I believe he moved to Bostock. I was surprised Scotty let him go, but I think there was reasons behind that. He wanted to improve in other positions, but I think this is now his time, and these front two are just fucking scary good. Crespo and fucking Van Nistelrooy. I mean, what can I say?
Yeah. Quick chat. Well, with the two obviously big names, obviously that you mentioned earlier in the show. It's sometimes it's not the big names that do the business in the Super League. Here's an interesting one. A couple of big names in midfield, Scholes and Zidane. And I just want to talk about this team on a whole. Really, obviously we know that Greavesy, lots of respect, decent manager, has done the business, Super League winner. Is he improving this team, or is he taking it in a different direction just to prove a point?
Nah, he's improved at tenfold with bringing in Vincenzo Montella. That Vincenzo Montella, should I say? That is a fucking unbelievable signing. I'm fucking shocked that Hodgie let him go. I just can't. He had fucking Impenza and Montella, and I just can't. I can't get it. I can't understand why he would let him go. I genuinely have no idea why he'd do it. And now you look who he's left with, fucking Roy Mackay and Jermaine Defoe. It beggars belief. So, he's improved. I do not like Scholes and Zidane. I'm not a big fan of them, but I know that Greavesy likes to prove a point to players. Not a big fan. Zambrotta's one of the best in the game, one of my favourites. Tonetto I like. Rouser is no bad. I mean, and you look who's got injured. Guerrero, I believe, is out for 3 months. Was that I just seen lately? And Kaluzny's a fucking absolute animal in there. So I think he's got a good team there. So I wouldn't say he's made it any worse. Apart from the addition of maybe Scholes and Zidane, who I'm not keen on, but he's still got a very good squad there, Boston, and they're definitely ones to watch. And this is going to be a cracking game.
Yeah, Hodgie saying he let Montella go to get Aymar. I'm going to kick this one off and see how we get on, conscious of time. Looks like we've seen a bit of Black, Rivaldo and Van Nistelrooy involved early on. No goals as yet. Crespo having a go going forward. Inzaghi striking and going wide. Inzaghi's a big name up front as well. Often gets overlooked. This first half has absolutely flew here, as often does with a locomotive game. But there is a first ever goal in the all black, the famous black kit for Vitaly Volodenkov, formerly of Lettucewood, now making his third appearance and looks like to be after an absolute flyer for Hulls. Yeah, very, very short text, not much happening at all. But Crespo running into the box, picked up Van Nistelrooy, crossed the ball low from the left. Van Nistelrooy on the left wing, feeding the right wing back in Volodenkov for his first ever goal for Hulls. not much to write home for the Locomotive lads.
No good ways. I'm gonna rein it in because I must be gibbering shite if you're saying we're struggling for time, mate. I do tend to gibber on a lot
No,
of
no,
shit.
not at all,
Say if I
mate.
get
No,
that,
no, I'm more talking about myself, really.
that,
I like it when the guests speak.
that's
Alfred saying bank a draw.
that's a disappointing half for local, but it's a tough place to go. Hools, I mean, you look at them, they've got a good squad, but again, you can never write off Boston. They're just the ultimate fucking shit houses, so it wouldn't surprise me if they fucking pull something in the bag. Candela, fucking Mr. Consistency again.
Yeah, it's that back four there, isn't it? Thuram, Campbell, Milewski, Candela, all absolute rock solid. Which is, I mean, they'll be absolutely delighted with in Norway. And yeah, and Volodenkov's the one who's pulled the goal out of the bag. Random assist there for Ruud van Nistelrooy. Both teams going as if, what do you call it? Absolutely grotesque decision by Lettucewood to sell Volodenkov. And Steve Wright agreeing, saying his favourite wing back is Volodenkov. And Greaves is in free fall. Says Maka. Have they got 3 points on the board yet? They've got one win so far, Locomotive. Let's kick off the second half. Both teams going on. Rivaldo going forward, saved by Barthez, one of the most consistent goalkeepers in the league. We've got to 66 minutes. Inzaghi's offside, 67 minutes. Crespo. Ooh, looks like both teams creating chances. Van Nistelrooy there. We're going to the last 15 minutes. It's close, so I'm just going to slow it down a little bit, mainly because there's not been much text in this game. We go into the last 10 minutes. Costanzo, Van Nistelrooy, Zidane picks it up. Brozek takes over control though to Crespo. Past Van Brossa, and the ref has given a penalty. That is a penalty, the first penalty in the Super League for Hull's Vikings, and Ruud van Nistelrooy has scored. There's going to be parties on the streets of Oslo tonight as Calvin Daunt does what no referee before him dared to do, and raise his arm for a Hull's Viking penalty. Incredible scenes. It's 2-0, last couple of minutes.
Year's supply of raw fish for Mr. Daunt, anyway.
Indeed, we go to 96 minutes in this game, but Hull's Vikings have held on for a famous victory and have won 2-0. Congratulations to Jens, unlucky to Greavesy. Craig Duggan saying 54 games. Jens saying yes. I love Martin's comment there saying I was there. I think that's going to be an issue. Sometimes you think about these sets of stats and you think Locomotive Boston might have won this last year with the one shot on target, but maybe not as solid. 4 shots on target to 1, 2-0 victory. Let's have a quick look at how the second goal went in, and yes, it was Zambrotta made a sliding tackle but took the man rather than the ball, and Crespo was fouled. Van Nistelrooy puts away the penalty, and Hull's Vikings have got the victory. Anything to add on that one, Ian?
I think the Vikings are looking very, very strong. They're definitely going to be ones to watch. Candela getting a 9, the bastard. Fucking Van Nistelrooy scoring, surprisingly. Crespo, I think they're definitely going to be ones to watch. Maybe a wee bit worrying for Greavesy, perhaps, because as you say, last season that would have been one that they maybe would have snuck something there, but business of Montel on a 6, Ramelow on an 8. Maybe he's not going to be flapping too much, but he's going to be slightly concerned, I would imagine. That's a great win for you. It's well done, mate.
Yeah,
Definitely getting the penalty.
Completely agree. Congratulations to Jens, big victory, unlucky to Greaves, and I have absolutely no doubt, I'm sure you're not, that Locomotive Boston will be back. We've got a quality manager there, and yeah, it'll just be a little bit of a bump in the road. Let's go to Fulchester. I know Mac has been on last a couple of times, so conscious to make sure that isn't the same again tonight. He's gone for some blocks tonight. He's got very rigid kind of 2-2-4-2. Maka with, I think, a win and a loss. He beat Locomotive and got beat by Hulls. What do you make of this lineup, in particular that midfield?
It's that I was just going to say that midfield is pretty strong. It's probably one of the strongest 4 midfields in the league, I would say. Yepes and Valgarin, no names that you would suggest are huge names, but they're solid champ players. Maka obviously knows what he's doing, but obviously does what Butt does. Biscan, another good player. Be interesting to see what Ronaldo does, because he's not really one for me that does much in the game. Comandini is a good player, but it's that midfield I think is key for Maka this season, I think. And he always just manages to find a way. But again, interesting to see how Ronaldo does for me.
Yeah, he's done okay first couple of seasons. He's probably one of the better Ronaldos we've seen. 8 goals for Dudley Hill season 1, 9, and a solid rating. Not nothing spectacular for Ronaldo for Locomotive, but obviously he's a big name. Maka likes his big names, doesn't he? It's very rare that he goes for one that's off the radar. Mario Yepes, potentially one of the what do you call it? One of the more unknowns, but there we are. He's definitely not an unknown.
I would consider 10 goals in the Super League a good return, in my opinion. In the Super League, 10 goals is a decent return, in my opinion. For me, it's reasonable. For me, obviously you've got your Chigagos and your Impedzas, but 10 goals I would consider a decent return in the Super League anyway, for me.
Okay, I would tend to agree with you. As I mentioned before, Gazelles under new management of Duggan, probably the best performing of the new managers this season. Well, yes, that's 100% correct. Winning a draw so far. Yes, we've got this one. Richie Wellens keeps his place in the midfield. Absolutely rock solid fullbacks. Diego Forlan up top, starting his third game on the spin. Do you think Gazelles are potentially going to trouble the top 6 this season?
But I have to say some of the signings were questionable, but Richie Wellens is a home save fucking hero for me, isn't he? But he seems to have again went for players that he knows what they're capable of doing. Maybe no Super League, like big Super League names, but he seems to know what he's doing. He's signed players for the way he wants to play. He's had a good start, and he's still got the solid base of a good team. That last one against Devils was good. Rio Ferdinand popping up. Van der Vaart and AMC, maybe a wee bit. He can play there. Gerrard, I'm a huge fan of, in centre mid. I've had him at Midlothian. And it's just a solid team, and I wouldn't be surprised. He's got Cafu and Deddy on either flank, Raul and Forlan. I mean, that's a good team. I think they'll be there or thereabouts of top 6, possibly higher.
I think I tend to agree with what a lot of people say in the chat, that this is the big game, 2 teams which they expect to be at the right end of the table coming in the season. Mack is saying that his midfield's called the Panzer Division, and he's mentioning that Welland's creativity and passing is a menace. Also set pieces, I think, are 20 as well. Volodenko for Perez. I've missed out on that little joke, I think. Anyway, already shown you Gazelle's colours today, Dan. Good job you can't play that a keeper in league. I'd love to see Fallon given a chance. Van der Vaart, very, very solid, says Martin. Right, I'm going to kick this one off. Oh, I can hear my baby crying in the background. I apologise. If anyone else can, the wife will be on that. Comandini, an effort early doors. 15 minutes gone. And we've got Steven Gerrard with his first ever Gazelles goal. Gerard Raoul, and it looks like Fulchester going to pieces. Wow!
Oh my God, Jesus! Fuck.
And Forlan picks up a yellow card for diving. I think that must have been there. But yeah, Fulchester 2-0 down. This is not what Mac is used to, especially at home. They do get back in the game though. Mario Yepes makes it 1-2. Looks like Gazelle's still the stronger team though. Cafu, Dede looking really good. And we get to half time, and yeah, Macca will be concerned with that, won't he, mate?
Definitely, and I mean, again, that is not an easy place to go, and Gazelles have held their own. I mean, I don't think we came to say there. I mean, Macca's. I was expecting a tight game, but Gazelles sort of ran away with it a bit there. You can't write them off, but I think an early goal for Fulchester could see this turn quite quickly. But looking at the fucking stats, I think there's going to be changes made. Ronaldo again underwhelming. Biscan not doing anything. I think there'll be a couple of changes for Mark, I would imagine. I think his midfield, Nedved, underperforming. We'll wait and see what he says, but disappointing for Maka at home, especially as it's normally a bit of a fortress.
Yeah, he's bringing Michael Owen on for Gianni Comandini, who's also on a 6, and he also on the 86-minute fitness. So Igor Bishkan is leaving as is, even though he's on the 5. Oh no, he's not. Trotton for Bishkan. I missed that one.
I would say Trotton.
But that does kind of uses 2 of his substitutions. Let's see how we get on with that. Let's look across then, and it's a solid first half for Duggan. He'll be happy with that, won't he?
As I'm surprised, Vulgaris for me. Can you click on Vulgaris? Are you able to click on Vulgaris?
Looks, I like him, me.
He's developed well. I mean, I had him season 1 at Midlothian, and he was fucking dung. So he's obviously developed really well. So he is a good keeper once he gets going. Van der Vaart.
I think I sold him to you season 1 at Midlothian.
Because first season he's shit, mate, isn't he? Ferdinand and Udeze getting 6s, maybe not an awful lot to do. Cafu on a 6, but surprising. Forlan on a yellow, maybe a wee bit of a surprise. Maybe Castillo for Forlan, maybe. I don't know what Duggan's going to do. As is now, Duggan's keeping it as is. Can't really blame him.
Yeah, he's got the lead, and he's been, you definitely say, the better team so far.
Richie Wellens spraying 23 passes, 20 completed around. So aye, winning 4 key tackles. So aye.
Only picking up a thing though, so he's not really done much else on the second column. But anyway, let's kick off the second half and see if Gazelles can stretch the lead or Fulchester can get back in it. Scott Sadler saying Nedved in that same bracket as Scholes and Zidane, were not just absolute garbage. For some reason, we're on slower. Michael Owen had an effort there though. Valgarin, I guess someone got a lecture. Giggs, looks like Fulchester are creating a little bit now. Yepes involved again, he got the goal. There's Raul though, and Richie Wellens involved. Ronaldo coming forward, Giggs, Ronaldo puts it wide, and we've got just over 15 minutes to go. We'll slow it down. Wellens loves the ball forward to Gerard Elias. Cafu on the right hand side. Nedved playing the ball forward. It's now or never for Fulchester as we go into the last 10 minutes. Maybe a little harsh, says that. Inch perfect tackle there from someone. 85 minutes. Not happening though so far, but here's Michael Owen. Came off Giggs' arm. Gazelle's defending well. As we go into injury time, and that's the final whistle. And that is a disappointing. I mean, they came into it a bit second half, but obviously just didn't create enough, did they? And yeah, I don't. You tell me if I'm wrong there. It didn't look like to me. It never looked like Fulchester were going to score.
It didn't. It just looked like they lacked that fucking cutting edge up front. I don't know whether Ronaldo. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Ronaldo, but I think it just highlights that everybody is capable of beating everybody on their day. That perhaps I would say it's perhaps a bit of a shock, Fulchester losing at home, but Gazelles have obviously started well and they deserve to win. But they looks it on the stats and they've done well, but perhaps a wee bit of a shock, Fulchester losing at home. But as you say, up front they looked a bit toothless, which will be a bit of concern for Maka. 52 passes for Wellens.
Can't slag him, can you? I mean, that's a really solid performance from Gazelles there, and you've got to give Duggan some credit. Rolled a few dices there with Wellens and Forlan, bringing Zay Elias and getting rid of Cliver as the main man up top. And the start he's had this season has been fantastic.
I've never had 52 passes from Vieira, mate, so that says something. You know what I mean? He's done something right. Fucking kudos to Duggan for that one.
Macca's saying we should point out the fact that he's had 2 more shots on target, but he's dominated every other stat. I'd say headers, yes. Passes is pretty much the same.
So it's only stat at the top of the screen that counts, mate. Unfortunately.
Yeah, so maybe the game was quite close. Yeah, let's not do down on Fulchester too much. Nicky Butt picking up a 9, as did David Prutton, who comes off the bench and gets a 9 after putting on for Biscan, may get a start next time out. I mean,
the worst stats in Fulchester, you've got to be honest. I mean, that's not too bad, mate. You know what I mean?
Not at all, no. I mean, individual player performances have been pretty solid. It's just, yeah. I mean, all I'd say about it is that second half is that I watched that game as a neutral, and you mean as I do every game, and I just didn't see Fulchester scoring.
No, I'd agree.
But it'd be interesting.
Ronaldo,
I'm sure Maka.
Ronaldo on a 6 would be concerning for me.
Yeah, I'm sure Maka will have a plan. He'll have a plan B. He's mentioned Chris Sutton a minute ago. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Fulchester, we all know. He may kind of put them down now for the next few weeks, but they'll be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. What have we got? Just gone 10 o'clock. 2 games left, and we've got Lettucewood versus Churchtown. I'm just going to go to Lettucewood first. And it's not Mr. Wooder, it's Mr. Megahorse. It's a debut in the manager's hot seat for Mr. Megahorse for the first time in 8 seasons, I believe. Former Stackington manager comes back and treats us to this lineup. Talk us through it, Ian.
Just got the magnifying glass out. I'm just having a quick check. I think we're okay for circles. I'm just having a.
Yeah, to be honest with you, mate, I definitely checked this before. Not that I ever would suspect Mr. Megahorse.
So it looks like he's kept the same tactic, I believe, or he's went that backward arrow again, which is
it's not the same tactic at all. I mean, it's players in similar positions, but I can guarantee it's nothing like the same tactic when you dig into it.
The backward arrow I'm seeing. Shivu, I love. Ehihog, class. Paredes, not a fan. Ambrosini, not a fan.
Not a fan of Ambrosini.
I didn't like him, mate. No, he's not. I think there's better in the game personally. Just personal preference, I think. Paredes is okay. That aside, Moriente is good for a goal. Hersey's class. Beria is class. I didn't like the backward arrow. Ronaldinho, I'd probably have him AMC with an arrow forward. That aside, they done us the last game, so I can't really go into it too much. But again, a good side who will no doubt be trouble in the top 6, as of most sides. It's that closely matched, I think. Yeah.
Indeed. So basically, let's have a quick look at the 2-1-1s that Churchtown have had first couple of games. Even game against Hull's probably a draw with a fair result. Against Dragons, you've got to say desperately unlucky not to get the win, which would put them a lot higher than 11th. Dimble's doing some solid things with Churchtown,
well,
and
as I say, they two last draws might be better results than what they seem on paper. Looking at tonight's results, you know what I mean. So they 2 draws might not be as bad as Dimble would have thought. You know what I mean? Good solid points. Zanetti is class. Carlos is class. Kaladze's class. Terry absolutely loving the game. Viali underrated in the game, in my opinion. Solid player.
Completely agree with you there. I think he's probably.
I
think he's probably one of the top 2 or 3 players in this team.
He really is, mate. He's class. Raquelme is one that remains to be seen. He's done no much. I mean, looking there, he's had 2 8s, which is surprising. Elber's one I like. He's always good for a goal. I think he's a previous Hala player, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 100% season 4.
Aye, good. Del Piero, question marks over him. I know he started the season well with Burn, but he kind of dropped off a cliff a bit. And the guy next to him, Santa Cruz, I know he can be good, but remains to be seen. But he's built a good team there, his Dims. He certainly knows what he's doing. Hack and Mill maybe a wee bit kicking on a bit, so we'll wait and see how he does. But aye, another good game.
So that's what we're calling him. We're calling him Dims, yeah.
Dims, that's
Dims, right? I just want to make sure that I get it right. I don't want to call him Dimble or Lee or anything like that. Dims is what we're going with. So we've got Megahorse versus Dims.
Horsley it is.
The Hull's manager thinks this is going to be hard to predict. Churchtown for the win here. A little too soon for Dan to get the grips with the squad. No prediction from Megahorse. What's your prediction for this, sorry, mate?
This is a tough one. I'm going to just say with the new manager buzz, a 1-0 Lettucewood win. Did that be
Steve Wright going 2-1. A couple of people going for Desmond. Dean Edwards going 1-1. Let's kick this off and see what we get. taking no prisoners. It looks like Churchtown at the start. Efforts for Elba and etc. Santa Cruz, few other people involved there. 20 minutes gone, and we've got Christian Kivu getting his first ever goal for Lettucewood, putting them up. I think that was the Lettucewood's first attack there. But then, as soon as that's happened, we've had an injury for Joseba Extabarilla. So let's see what Mr. Megahorse wants to do. It's his first decision he's had to make. Can Hersey play there? No, he can't. Pozzanzini. So he could necessarily put Hersey. You could put Patsazoglu on the right. You could put Pozzantini on the right and move Hersey to the left. Horsey is good, Ian. I'm gonna go. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that can. Patsazoglu in is the straight swap he's going
Yeah,
with.
that's what I would do.
Patsazoglu played pretty much everywhere for Hodgie. Played a lot in centre midfield. Let's continue this game. Looks like goals being an issue for Churchtown. Looks like he's had a few efforts, but none of them gone back in the net. Riquelme clattered there, then hits one just over. I've still seen a lot of white though, but there's Pozzantini, Ronaldinho involved. 37 minutes gone. There's been a lot of text in this game. Riquelme hits hard at goal. Zanetti harmlessly over. Elba having an effort as well. And we do. Oh, I thought we had an equaliser, but ruled out for Roberto Carlos. And what I'm predicting here is that Lettucewood have had maybe 2 or 3 shots versus Churchtown's 12. Maybe not 12, but definitely 8. 2 shots, 2 on target. Lettucewood, including 1 goal. A lot more shots from Churchtown, but only 3 on target. Giovanni Elba needs to get his shooting boots soon. Pats was great in CM for Hodgie.
I'm predicting a Riquelme 6.
Are you? Let's have a quick look at the goal first, though. It's Exabury corner, and then Kivu found the net. Let's go for to Lettucewood first. Let's see what Mr. Megahorse wants to do. Hersey, Vogel, Morientes, the 3 players on 6, as is Ugo Ekiog. Ian Edwards saying the Lettucewood old boys are playing for the new manager. Assist coming from Exabury before he went off injured. Obviously a key player for them. Taibbi's on an 8 as well. Could be having one of those games. Elba needs that swamp farm, says Jens. Come on, Horsey, let us know what you want us to do. Constantini for Morientes is the substitution.
It really had to be that, didn't it? I still don't like that backward arrow on Ronaldinho, but no doubt it'll pay dividends second half. Be interesting to see the stats. And there it is, the Riquelme 6.
Yeah, maybe harsh to single out Riquelme because the entire team apart from Carlos.
I know. I mean, for the amount of shots they've had on target, that is appalling. Let's be honest.
They're considering the stats. The ratings are pretty poor. I'd say the Churchtown are slightly edging the stats looking at this, apart from headers. But yeah, they're losing the one-on-one battles, and they're not getting the shots on target.
I can really remember seeing as many 6s in a Super League game. To be honest, every single player bar one.
Martin's asking where Sorochinsky is. He's gone to Devils. And Hodgie saying obviously he's a huge fan of him. Dimble saying Petrov for Kaladze and swap with Håkan Mild.
Yeah. Not much attacking prowess on the bench, is there, apart from Barsom, who I would question whether he's ready.
I'd question whether he's good enough at any point in his career. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I believe is happening. Cypriot Stee, I missed that one. Greek words. Anyway, let's kick off, see what happens in the second half. Just the
early goal here.
60 minutes gone. It looks like more of the same. Efforts going high and wide from Churchtown. No more goals as yet as we go with just 16 minutes to go into the last 14. Vogel, Pozzanzini on the left hand side. Free kick to Lettucewood. Ronaldinho has the free kick. It's deflected. Hedman hits the ball upfield. Petrov comes forward. It's maybe not been as Churchtown dominated. Riquelme fires low and hard. Taibbi, Elba, Santa Cruz, and no goal. It's just not happening, is it, for Churchtown? Mega Horse will have his fingers and his bollocks crossed at the minute that he can hold out here. Did you catch up on Tato Talks, mate?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't see it actually. I passed the video, but I was in the middle of something else actually. Is that where his shades on? I'll catch it.
Box office, mate, as we go into injury time. It's still 1-0. Lettucewood holding out. Churchtown not creating the chances like they were. Hedman denies Ronaldinho for an effort there. Terry, and that is the final whistle. Decent crowd on at Lettucewood to see them come into the game a little bit, but definitely second best overall to Churchtown. But they have come away with the win. So congratulations to Horsey. Unlucky to Dims. Bit of a head scratcher for Dims, to be honest with you, because you could see that basically he's got 2 points from his first 3 games that could easily be 7. So unfortunate for him. Yeah, ball definitely more in the Lettucewood area, even though they had less possession. Let's have a look at the Churchtown stats. The ratings are pretty pish, let's be honest with it.
I mean, the amount of shots on target, you've got to be fucking putting at least one in the net. He's going to be bitterly disappointed with the stats. I mean, I don't know if he's maybe better pushing even fucking 2 up front, 3 up front even. I mean, looking at that, there's not much to be positive about, is there?
James Summerskill saying, "What more can you do?" That's mega that horse, says Fifey. I'd ask Fifey to stop with those kind of things. Tough one for Dimble, but a great start for Mega Horse. Let's have a look at the start for Mega Horse, and looking at those ratings, you would tend to agree.
Decent, very decent for Horsey there. Ronaldinho on an 8, fucking totally ramming my words down my throat. Ehio, Chivu, I love Kivu, Taibbi on an 8. Just a all-round solid performance really, and a deserved win, even though Churchtown had fucking that many shots on target. It looks like the defence just dealt with it. Good win for Lettucewood, continuing their good start, minus their first cheat game against us. Brilliant.
Tato Mourinho saying, "I met you today, me," to his new friend Horsey.
Alright.
And Dimble's blaming Alf. He's saying it's that pesky Alf which just give Horsey the inside track. Sorry, let's catch my breath and let's talk about our final game of the evening, the main event, the friendly North-South derby, the what do you call it? Margate to Milan, was it? The stream you did together. It's Bostock versus Haggis. It's Bostock who are 100% record so far this season. 2 games, 5 goals, just 1 conceded, won each game by 2 goals, both away from home, and now they travel home for the first of 3 home games on the trot against Haggis, Astor, and then Northern Burn. It looks like it's a different animal this season for Bostock Stanley. David Collins had a quiet start, just the 1 goal in the 2 games. Really solid backline and Life, Lasisi, Life looking absolutely fantastic. Undai and Decoa will be protecting that backline. And then, yeah, the goals coming from David Collins, and interesting to see even Nicholas Anelka continues to get goals. Obviously, former Super League winner with Rapid Apollo, is known in the game for having a little bit of a can get a little bit upset at times, but yeah, and we're also going to see the resurgence of that man Lee Boyer, who's had a 9 and a 10 so far this season and has scored 3 goals, which, considering the mare he had at Dudley Hill, Scott will be absolutely bouncing with that. And yeah, and Craig Duggan quite right to say Bostock with a chance to continue with their 100% record and be the only team on that record. However, to do that, they're going to have to roll over the mighty Haggis Hunters. Ian. You've got to tell me why Scott should be worried, why the Super League fans shouldn't be assuming a Bostock victory here, why the Haggis Hunters are going to turn them over. Go.
Unless they get a man sent off in the first minute, I've not got high hopes for this one. His midfield 3 are pretty impervious. We've just decided to go for it. I mean, we've been sitting in and playing defensive. We've basically just just this is a free hit for us because I'm not expecting much for this. I know I like to swing balls a bit, but this one I'm not entirely confident. It's probably my best 11, I would suggest. There or thereabouts. We've still got Nicky Forenko to come back in. Whether he'll make a difference remains to be seen. We've went all out attack, basically. That's basically what we've done. We've changed formation a wee bit. I was considering going 3 up top, but decided against it. So I'm still
2 up top. What would be the issue with putting Larson behind Shevchenko and
that
Vasiljevic?
that was my thinking, but I've had more out of Shevchenko in an AMC position, and I quite like Vasiljevic on his own up top. So again, it's a wee bit trial and error. So if we get absolutely scudded here, there will be some formation changes. So we'll wait and see how this goes. I've just decided to have a go, so we'll wait and see what happens. But I'm definitely not holding it for much here, mate.
Right, let's have some predictions in the chat. That would be absolutely fantastic. Teta Mourinho saying, love my man Ian, but Bostock on another level to most teams in the league, similar to Northern Burn. Alf recommending that Dimble changes the centre midfielders. Ian going for a 3-1 home victory. I think Dimble highlighting that he's got Poet and Tinga in the wings, so it may not be of his interest to. Dimble, Alfred offered you help me if you want it. Yes. Let's have a look. So a lot of people going for the home win here. Potato, Hodgie, Martin. I don't really want to dwell on these predictions too much because they've been wrong at one point tonight.
Yeah, let's get it over and done, mate. And don't slow it down, please. Let's just get it over and done with, will we? There we go. Fucking hell. Fucking.
So it's flew that first half, but we had a goal very early on from David Collins.
That's it.
You're still in the game, mate. Oh, and David
Oh,
Collins has had a red card. I think that was for a punch as well. So that absolutely flew there. Fifey after Fifey won a 1-0 Haggis victory after they'd already gone 1-0 behind.
it kind of makes it worse that I'm going to get beat by 10 men now for fucking. You know what I mean? It kind of just makes it fucking worse. I think he'll probably just move Jacques central, personally, but we'll wait and see what he says.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really like the 3-0 line, so I think he could potentially go central or potentially keep it as it is. So cheat coach getting sent off. I think it was a punch. We'll find out at half time.
Scotty's leaving it as is.
Yeah, you've obviously seen that before me somehow. Let's continue. It's 47 minutes and it's half time there. Wow. I didn't think much had happened in that first half, and I was right. Absolutely. Let's have a quick look at the match report because there's not much to see on that. And yeah, match report is very, very short. Ashley Life free kick headed by David Collins, and then Collins punched Big Paddy. Let's look at Bostock first. I mean, it was a bit of a dull game. Does that give you a little bit of hope, Ian?
No particularly decent stats, mate. Lassisi's a beast. Dacour on a 6 is maybe a wee bit, give me a wee bit hope, but no particularly because the stats are only going to improve in my opinion second half. Again, the man down, it's not going to make too much of a difference, I don't think. His main men are up performing, so it's again, it's one the only weak link in that team I would have suggested is Ortega, but he's been doing well for Scotty, so I'm not holding it much hope, to be honest. We'll wait and see what my fucking ratings are.
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting for a substitution or leave it as is. He's put leave it, hasn't he? I think he's put leave it. Does that leave it from when the red card, or is it leave it from half time? He's gone as is, right? Sorry, sorry for my mumbling on, everyone. Let's have a quick look at the Haggis Hunters.
Fucking Jesus, fuck. Right, let me fucking have a look. Jesus. Miera for Helguera, please.
Who's going?
Miera for Helguera. Miera.
I thought you said Vieira. Then I was like,
No. And we shall also bring on fucking Thomas Rosicki for Henrik Larsson, please.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens there.
Not a lot, I would suggest. Not a fucking lot.
Let's kick this off and see
Right,
if that
go on,
red card.
Go on then.
Shevchenko, fierce shot there. We get to
Come
53
on,
minutes.
Helguera. Come on, Helguera, boy. Come on, and another. Go on, you're going to score
I'm going to
again.
slow this down because I'm loving the
Go on.
actual tension.
Come
I'm
on,
loving it.
man. Fucking hell, man.
68 minutes gone.
Come on, and another. Go on, son. Go on.
Mikey Duff
And
going
you
for.
go, and you go, and you go. Yeah! Down up, boys. God. Go
Roman
on.
Vasyliuk, and that David Collins red card proving to be costly for Bostock Stanley as Haggis come into the game.
Bastards are going to score. Come on, come on. Casillas has got to chuck it in his net. Go on, go on. Go on, son. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on.
Amazing bit of commentary here from Haggis Hunter's manager.
Sorry. Should have muted it. Should have muted it. They're going to score. Bastards are going to score. Bastards are going to score. Come, no. No.
Call it a long ball. I feel sorry for my giggling.
Come on, Helguera. Go on, Helguera.
Decor to Anelka. Anelka into the area.
I knew it.
Appeals for a penalty. He's not give the penalty. He's not give it. Rosicky high ball for Andre. Lassisi. 5 minutes to go.
I'm going to have a fucking heart attack here. Come on. A draw would be decent, I have to say. A draw.
Lettucewood, left wing cross. Casillas makes the punch.
Sorry, Ryan. Sorry for
You're
sure.
okay, mate. You're fine. I'm loving it, to be honest with you. A little bit of energy.
And you go. Yes! Fucking in there. Sorry. How'd you like them eggs, Scotty? How'd you like them eggs?
Congratulations, Ian, on your victory. Unlucky to Scott. Obviously, I mentioned the David Collins red card. Cost you probably
Excuses, Scott. Sorry,
probably gave as much as they got though. Bostock 5 shots on target, 5 shots to Haggis's 3, more on target though for Haggis. Haggis had more possession, and it was more in the Bostock area. Let's have a quick look at how those goals went in the second half. It was a Mendieta free kick, and Helguera got above the goalkeeper Andre. Mike Duff passed into the area for Vasyliuk, who got the diving header. Very often you see a diving header going absolutely nowhere. Let's talk us through your team's performance, mate. They've come from behind against 10 men and they've got the victory. Have they done you proud tonight?
2 words, mate. Ivan Helguera. What a fucking what? Nah, they've done well, mate. I was not expecting that, mate. I was tempted to start Helguera over Miera, but Casillas. Very rarely do you get like a 5 followed by another 5 for keepers, so I stuck by him and he's done me proud. Shevchenko flattering to deceive again. Vasyliuk coming in there to go, but Ivan Helguera, mate, that's all I can really say to that. I think it didn't help Scotty going down to 10 men, let's be honest, but I'm pretty fucking delighted with that, I have to say. I did not expect that, mate. Did not expect that at all, mate. And look at his ratings, mate. He's played fucking pretty well. Look at that.
Yeah, the 10 men have done all right. Lettucewood picking up man of the match. Ortega on an 8. Azid, Lassisi, a couple of 8s from NDI and Bolia. They haven't managed to get the ball in the net, really. David Collins did that first half, but then got the red card. Martin says, good result for the Haggis. Unbelievable contribution from Vasyliuk. Maybe something I've missed there. 1 shot, 1 on target. Lost all his headers.
Looking at Scotty's ratings, you would think he won compared to mine. Look at that. That you would never think fucking I won that match. Looking at his ratings, mate. You know what I mean? No chance.
No chance. Right, we're there. Yeah. I think we waffled for about 10 minutes. I think the actual show's been about 1 hour 15. Quick run through the results. Astor beat Northern Burn 2-1, maybe a surprise. Bostock beaten at home by Haggis Hunters. Dragons overcoming Spartak Slofs after going 1-0 down. Fulchester beaten at home by Gazelles. Hull's dominant 2-0 home victory over Locomotive Boston. Lettucewood it's maybe slightly against the run of play, maybe an even game, beating Churchtown, and the Devils, survived a kind of Dudley Hill fight back to hold on to the 1-0 victory. Martin saying Vasyliuk scored, that's pretty unbelievable. So there's a bit of a request here, which I'm going to kind of think I'm going to go with. Tarek Carnstein, as a neutral, I find Ian's commentary and opinions really entertaining. Well, as a neutral myself, Tarek, I would 100% agree. He's always box office when I get him on. It's just usually pretty hard to get him on. And I got to say, the internet has held out tonight.
Mate.
So I'm going to click on next fixtures because I'll get chastised if I don't. Just going to quick click on it. Everyone can see their games there. And then the request here is going to be from Duggan, which I'm going to echo. Any chance of a song to sing us out, mate?
What would you like? I don't know. What would you like?
Oh, do you want to do a bit of Flower of Scotland? No, I don't do Flower of
Scotland. If you want, mate, aye, are we ready?
A bit of Fields of Athenry. Is that in your?
That's a bit Irish. I'm trying to think of another song. Let me think. What about? I'm trying to think.
It's Coming Home.
Yes, I'm trying to think. Any some ABBA? I don't know. What about? I'm trying to think.
Duggan saying. ABBA. Duggan saying ABBA.
Or what about ABBA? Right. ABBA songs that I know.
Winner Takes It All.
I'm trying to. I don't know the words to that though. I do like ABBA. I do like a bit of ABBA.
Dimble saying Imagine by John Lennon's Nose.
But Imagine I'm trying to think of something a bit cheesy. What can I sing? It's cheesy.
Sweet Caroline, gotta be.
Sweet Caroline, right.
What's that one that Scotland used to they sang for before the Euros? What was that one?
Oh, that. Yes, Sir, I Can Boogie.
Yes, Sir, I Can. Or either that or Penny Arcade.
What about a bit of a Silk inspired song?
Go for it, mate.
What's his first name?
Roman.
Roman.
Jesus, mate. Try to do a quick ending.
I know, mate. I'm sorry. His name is Roman Vasilyev, and he dances the Bostock alley every time. His name is Roman Vasilyev, and he dances the Bostock Stanley every time. Can you hear the Bostock sing? No. Can you hear the Bostock sing? No. Can you hear the Bostock sing? I can't hear a fucking thing. Oh.
Shh. Right, Ian, absolute pleasure as always when you're on comms. Thank you everyone who's been involved in the chat and everyone who's tuned in. Thank you so much. Absolutely classed it. Get it up your jam tart, says Duggan. Congratulations to the winners. Commiserations to the losers. We've got no 100%ers. We've got no one rock bottom. We've just got one team waiting on a victory, which I'm sure will be coming soon, considering their performances. But a familiar position for Churchtown at least, so they're not surprised down there.
What's the fixtures? Right? Sorry, mate. I was too busy.
I'll leave the fixtures on at the end. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone, and I shall see you all soon. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, right? Cheers, everybody. Bye bye.